Tonight, new reaction from school leaders and lawmakers after a contentious Board of Education meeting. During yesterday's meeting, Superintendent Ryan Walters was asked about federal funding after Bixby Superintendent Rob Miller voiced concerns that districts still did not know how much money they'd be getting with the start of school just weeks away. Walters said Miller was lying and then went even further.
He's a liar. I mean, he's really a true embarrassment. Rob's a clown and a liar, and so he knows that. So,
I mean, to call me a clown or to say that I'm an embarrassment for somebody who has invested most of my life in education and serving students and teachers and families, that was totally unprofessional.
But Miller was not the only target of Walters during that meeting.
He also went after State Senator Mary Boren, who has been fighting with the school board to get access to their closed executive sessions. As we told you last week, the Attorney General's office weighed in, saying lawmakers on relevant committees should be allowed into those executive sessions. But at yesterday's meeting, Walters claims he never heard from the AG's office and Boren was kept out of the closed executive session, a meeting that the AG's office says may have violated state law.
News 4's Spencer Humphrey is cutting through the noise.
Tuning out the noise.
yeah, he's a liar. I mean, he's really a true embarrassment.
Can be hard.
How much you spend on that hot air balloon ride?
Rob's a clown and a liar.
Everything you're doing is just BS for press.
But for State Senator Mary Boren,
I picked up my clothes and I left the house a little bit after 8.
she walked into Wednesday's state school board meeting
And I said, I'm on the agenda.
ready to tune it all out, focused on just one thing, sitting in on the second of 2 scheduled state school board executive session discussions. So she was surprised when that second session never happened. Instead, the board came back from the first one and voted on items they weren't supposed to have discussed until the second one.
It's obvious to me that they prepared what they were going to say ahead of time, that they talked it over, how that they were going to handle it.
The folks at the AG's office were surprised too, telling us we are very concerned by what appeared to be a willful violation of the Open Meeting Act.
It's very serious when you violate the Open Meetings Act.
Tim Gilpin is a former assistant Oklahoma AG.
The public has a right to know what their elected representatives are doing. So there's not shady behind closed doors meetings and decision.
He also once served on the state school board.
If I were a member of the State Board of Education, I would be worried about where this superintendent is leading me and what my personal responsibility or liability could be. Because once you take those votes, you're joining him in these reckless acts, potentially lawless acts.
State Superintendent Ryan Walters addressed the issue with Senator Boren after the meeting,
We're looking legally, and it doesn't appear that she has jurisdiction.
calling on the AG's office to spell it out for him.
We've requested specifics from the Attorney General, haven't heard from him.
Seemingly unaware of this letter from the AG's office with that advice sitting in his inbox since July 18th.
I've never heard of the State Board of Education ignoring the Open Meetings Act or communication from the Attorney General's office.
But Walters kept talking.
I've got, left-wing Democrats like Mary that want to come in and make it where we can't remove pedophiles from the classrooms.
He got personal.
So what she's wanting to do. She's wanting to disrupt that process.
A baseless, false claim. Part of an attitude Boren can no longer tune out.
No, it's not democracy. No, it's authoritarian, it's abuse of power, it's abusive relationships, it's a toxic relationship that they want people to be, in fear of them personally.
It is the kind of deceit and disgust that we should not really have in a state official.
An attitude Gilpin says will do real damage if those with the power to stop it continue tuning it out.
You would hope at some point that even fellow Republican state office holders would take this seriously and realize that the school children of Oklahoma are not being served. They should step forward and do something about this.
In Oklahoma City, Spencer Humphrey, Oklahoma's News 4.
We reached out to the Department of Education after the AG's office said yesterday's meeting appeared to be a willful violation of the law.
Chief Policy Advisor Matt Langston sent us this statement saying in part, quote, I don't know what the Democrats told the Attorney General, but they are liars. no violations occurred.